Hey guys, it's your man Mike Padu, again somewhere in the US. It's almost 12 a.m., time for me to go to bed. I gotta admit that, it's pretty much late for me. I usually go to bed a little bit earlier, but today I had a couple of things to do. And as I was heading to bed, I just had like, a quick thought and I wanted to share it with you. So it's just about, relationship. It's all about, two people who meet when they were perhaps like kids, when they were little, and then they grew up together. They go to school together, they go to college together, they go to university together, and somewhere in their life, they break up for different reasons. I mean, people do break up for thousands and thousands of different mm, reasons. It's maybe that one cheated on the other one, so he was like, or she was like unfaithful. It may happen that one decided just to break up, for some reasons. I mean, it may happen that in the environment, like, maybe the girl, has some friends who don't like, the boyfriend or their friend, so they start, putting a lot of things into her mind, I mean, there are thousands of different why people, split up. But then you grow with that person and then you just realize that one day you break up. Why do we break up? Like I said, there are thousands of different reasons why. So then one of them is suffering. They start suffering a lot because they not understand what's going on. They try to think. Sometimes they even start thinking that they are the reason why the other one cheated on them. Sometimes you haven't done anything, but it's just that it happened. It had to happen. Maybe it was your destiny. Who knows? I mean, we usually say that we control our lives, but do we really control our lives? If we cannot say what will happen tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, how can you say that you control your life? I mean, for people who believe in Allah, who believe in God, who believe in in God, we think and we believe that we do not control our lives. The fact that we were born in a specific family without our consent means that we don't control our lives. So then those two people like work together and then they split up. So let's say that the wife does something. I'm not saying that it's always women who do wrong things. No, men also we do wrong things. But in this case, talking about a woman who did something wrong, and then they had to split up. So the man start crying. He's tried. He. I mean, he struggles. He cannot sleep. He cannot eat. He cannot dress up, the way he used to. He cannot share just because in his mind, there's only his love, he sees his love, going away from him. He's asking himself, am I going to survive? Will I be able to make it without that person since I know that person? And usually in that case, a lot of things, have have between those two people, they have a lot of things in common. Like I said, the fact that they grew up together, the fact that they went to school together, the fact that they went to college together, they have the same friends. They know, families, each other knows, the family of the other one. It becomes like, it becomes like a bond. There's a bond between the two of them. And the bond seems so strong that, whatever happens, they always say and think that nothing can break it. But one day just that dream is just broken up. It's just broken up because one of them, hasn't been committed to the relationship. Sometimes and very often you see like the opposite. A woman loves a man so much, the man loves that woman so much that they do everything together. But one day they have to split up. And then in that case the woman cries. She cries like rivers. She cries and cries rivers and rivers all the time, and every day, every time, all the time she cries because she cannot accept, she cannot believe that her love is going away. She cannot believe that everything that she built with that person is like collapsing like a castle. She cannot believe that, but unfortunately this is what is happening. And then they split up. But she refuses because she cannot let him go. She doesn't want to let him go because she said, I will never survive without you. I will never be able to make it without you. But why is she saying that? She's saying that just because her feelings are so strong that she cannot even think about such a thing. Actually, she's kind of living in a show. It's for her. It's not reality. It's just like a show. It's just like a dream. It's just like something you know that crosses her mind. She cannot believe that it's true, but it's true. It is true. So they split up, and then she decided. She said to herself, or she said to people she knows, that I will never get married again. I will never marry again. I will never have children. I will never love, somebody the way I did love, that person I just broke up with. I will never love, another person the way I loved that person who was my heart, who was my life, who was my feeling, who was my family, who was everything and anything for me. That person who knew me from the beginning to the end. I will never love a person like this. Man, I mean, you're wrong. You shouldn't say things like that. But I do understand that in that moment, I do understand that it's always hard, to think about, other things that love, feeling, the person that broke your heart. It's always hard to forget about it. But always remember that there's always a way out of that situation. I may be an example. You may be an example. I mean, there are thousands of people who are in that kind of relationship. They cried rivers, they cry all the tears of their body. But then after they split up, and then one day they just accept the situation. And sometimes they don't even accept, but the nature pushes you to understand that it's over. You gotta get over it. You gotta move on with your life. And then after a couple of years, you just realize that why did I cry so much for that person? Why I couldn't eat because of that person? Why I refused to go and meet other people because of that person? Why did I make everybody around me sad because of that person? Because the same way you were crying all the tears of your body, each and every night, all the people who love you more than anything were crying with you. They were sad the same way you were sad. Perhaps they were not feeling, the same feeling that you had, but they were sad just because they love you. I mean, when a person loves you, just imagine that when it happened, you were with your mom. Can you imagine how bad, your mom was suffering? Can you imagine how bad your dad, your brothers and sisters and friends were feeling about that person? I mean, about you. They were just suffering the way you were suffering. But then I mean, couple of, a few years, down the bridge, you wake up one day and just realize, what happened to me? Why have I stopped dressing up? Why have I stopped going out? Why have I stopped meeting other people? Why have I stopped praying God? Why have I stopped making people around me happy? And you just realize that that person sometimes were not worthy. Yet you just realize it after a couple of years. And then at this time, what do? Just wake up, stand up, walk your way out, go, meet people, make your people happy. Just say to yourself, I mean, It's part of that. It was maybe your destiny. Maybe you had to go through this to become, the new person you are. I mean, you are stronger than before. That's what I believe. So which means that that was an experience. It was like an experience in your life, and whatever will happen again in your life, you will be able to manage. You will always be able to get out to get out from any situation if ever such a thing will happen to you again. It's true that we are all not the same, because some people, they go through the same situation one time, they go through the same situation a second time, they go to the same situation a third time. It seems that they do not understand. It seems that they do not understand that life is like life is like stages. You gotta go through different stages, and at each and every stages there are challenges, but you gotta overcome those challenges. You gotta be strong and say to yourself that I know I can do it. It doesn't matter what it takes. I know I can do it. And as long as you start thinking like that, as long as you start saying that to yourself, you will get out from that situation. You will get away from that situation. You can trust me on that. So never say to yourself that I'm done. I don't want to be married again. I don't want to have kids again. I don't want to be married. I don't. No, don't say that. It's just part of your life. It's just one step in your life. Because after, what comes after, I always believe that what comes after is always the best. Yes, it's always the best. It's like you work hard your whole life, you deprive yourself from going out, from doing this and that, but then there comes the time where you have to retire. Maybe you retire at an early age, and then you start enjoying all the money that you made. It's a little bit like the same. It's just part of, it's just a stage in your life. You gotta go through it, you gotta go over it, and then be happy after. So stop thinking that, when you grow up, or when you break up with a person, it's like, the end of your life or the end of the world. No, the best is still to come. I guarantee you. Thanks again very much for listening to me. Time to go to bed. So that was nice talking to you, and I hope I'll talk to you again pretty much soon. Cheers, bye.